Hello, ladies and gents. This is Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 2, Episode 5, Girl Talk. Excuse me. We're going to do this pretty quickly. So, two things. Big ups to Jussie Smollett. It looks like the cops have possibly found the two people that were involved with, attacking him. So, justice for Jussie's in full effect. And people, this was not a stunt. I know a lot of you have little faith in stuff that's put online, but this was not a stunt, and Jussie is not the stunt type, so let's just move on from there. And I also have a new channel, Romie Whispers ASMR or ASMR. I have a new video up. It's a roleplay video of me being a game store employee and doing a quick little tutorial on a couple of things. So check that out. Now, on to this episode. The episode starts off with, we see a lot of Trick Daddy. And Trick Daddy apparently is doing something for the community and bringing out some local talent and rappers. Even though I felt like the real talent, we didn't hear what they were doing. Even they could have been killing it, but I hate how they edit it sometimes because I'm thinking, this is just, what is going on here? The main point of the scene is to invite Veronica Vega. Michelle is also there, but Veronica Vega is the focus. Now it's time for them to rehab her image. They rehabbed Young Hollywood, so now they're rehabbing her image. She's trying to be more calm. She's talking about how, look, she did a song based on where she's from and what she grew up in. And here's what people need to understand. Like, I'm from New York. So trust me when I say there's a lot of minorities who use the N-word in New York, and especially depending on what their zip code is. I'm not saying that that's okay. That's the difference. I'm acknowledging that, yes, that does happen and it is common. It doesn't mean it's actually okay. It's just kind of tolerated because of the culture. And again, that depends on where, because you go somewhere else and do that in the same state, you could have a problem. That shows that there is the overall problem with what you're saying. See how easy I just wrote that down for you? And a lot of this stuff I care about in general because of the social impacts that it has, but it doesn't piss me off. And I'm not like, a lot of times I come on here and I'm like, I don't even care. But I understand why it's important to care because it does matter. So they're going to go and rehab her image, and he's going to invite her to the Drink Champs. So Noriega, he's a huge rapper, going on to his podcast, onto his show, and that'll help bring her exposure. I'm thinking, okay. Now, Amada is talking to her mom because she wants to go and start a business with her mom, and her mom isn't too sure, but Amada's just like, look, give this a shot. I'm running this. Just go for it. I want you to be the boss instead of being the employee. And I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to bring more opportunities for your mom. Mom, take it. You deserve it. Come on now. Then we see Bobby, and her manager was there. I think Bobby is talking to his mom because Bobby is unsure if he wants to go to this new record label or focus with Trina. I'm thinking, I really hope this record label isn't a hole in the wall that doesn't have proper funding, but they can have enough for a storefront. You know what that means? That means they can have an office, they can have a couple of people on per diem or a flat generic salary and just try and get people in and see what happens from there. Because it's very rare to me for a new record label to sprout up, have funds, be able to... It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, because it happens all the time. But usually I hear artists with their own imprint. But anyway, talk too much about that. Now we see Blue. Blue's talking to his father. Fun fact, all of them share the same father. They have different moms. Well, actually, Blue and not Slick. Blue and the other lighter one share the same mom, but Pleasure and Slick have different moms. Blue's talking to their dad because their dad's upset. They're upset. He's upset that they're still talking about how he robbed them and how he didn't support them and how they're young. He took advantage. He doesn't feel that way. And so they're all going to have a conversation because Blue's like, it's not working with us trying to mediate. We need someone to just mediate, even if it means he's not directly handling the business. I said, I don't know if that's going to work, but okay. So Michelle Pooch, Miami Tip, and Jesse Wu, they have this conversation. They talk about Amada, and I said the issue really isn't Amada. The issue isn't really Amada. The issue is the fact that this Amada's manager, who you were potentially going to work with, you're saying stole your idea and gave it to Amada, or at the very least implemented Amada's idea differently based on yours. And that is messed up. What I also need is for Jesse Wu to get better business sense, because getting into these meetings and you just have to, because she was taken advantage of in the past. So I feel like she needs to walk in every meeting with a lawyer or something, because I know that's expensive, but I think she really wants to do big moves here. And it's not going to work if she's singing on stuff and she's throwing these ideas that people can take if that's what's really happening. The business sense isn't there. It isn't there, or at least it isn't working. Pleasure P and what's the child's name? Pleasure P and Jojo, they have a conversation that doesn't go too far. Jojo comes in irritated, and Pleasure feeds off that irritation and kind of just tells her, hey, you can leave. That all happens because of the fact that Shay posted online that, yeah, she still loves Pleasure P. I'm thinking, Shay, are you doing this just for clicks? Are you? She may not be, but it felt like that to me, and to just piss up Jojo, because Shay would definitely do that. Because then they have this argument of how, well, you didn't support me. I don't want this drama. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Yeah, you are being dramatic. We knew this wasn't going to work out, obviously. So we move on. We move on to Bobby. He's having this impromptu. It wasn't an official video release. It was a soft release because he still needs to edit. He wants to show Trina that he's working, and he wants to be signed. Trina agrees that she will give him a feature and also a cameo. But I feel like Trina doesn't want to deal with Bobby on a day-to-day basis business-wise. I feel like that's the real truth. And she understands that there's talent there. So unless he pops off on his own, then she'll officially sign him. But if not, this could keep going on for years. Bobby didn't tell Trina that Shay is there. So Trina exits stage left. And Bobby is talking to Trina, saying that he may sign with the other label. And Shay is saying, don't do that because you already have stuff going with Trina. Bobby said, yeah, but that stuff isn't moving fast enough. I'm thinking, oh, Lord, here we go. I just wanted Trina to be waiting outside, overhearing all of this, because that's what I will have done. Now, Amada, she's at her video shoot because she has to shoot her show. And guess who comes along? Jesse Wu. Jesse Wu's with Miami Tip. Miami Tip didn't say much of anything. She was just there for moral support. The manager was clowning Jesse Wu. And at this point, I don't know. I just get weird vibes that maybe this manager has been doing some shady stuff, because that wouldn't be out of the norm for managers to go and take other people's ideas and implement it with their artists and not give credit, or at least pay them. But Jessie Wu's definitely not handling things correctly as she really wants to. Because the whole thing is, she was saying that she wasn't apologizing to Amada because when she gets upset, someone throws a drink at her. Everyone could get Yamada Ivada, and that's what set off Amada. So Amada wanted to fight. Jessie was happy. She was singing. She was like, beat my ass, beat it. I'm thinking, really? So then Amada's manager has to take her to the side to calm her down, and Amada's just like, ugh. He's like, when you're on the rise to the top, people, the vultures will circle. That's all that's going on right now. I'm thinking, yeah, but at the end of the day, something does feel off with this manager. It does kind of feel like, because even Amada says she doesn't know if he's stealing or not, but she'll find out if that's the case. I don't know. I just feel like something's off. Something's off. Bobby decides to sign with that record label, Clear Vision Group. As long as they have an imprint with a larger label, I'm fine. Go for it, Bobby. Because here's the thing. I understand what people are saying about Bobby working with Trina. I even said it last time. But Trina, I don't know. I feel like Trina, because she knows Bobby, she's very apprehensive of doing that. So then Bobby goes and invites people like Shay, I think Miami Tip, as well as Prince. And they're all looking at him like, oh, congratulations, but did you tell Trina? Because you were, Trina was doing things in the background for you that I guess we didn't know. And so maybe she'll have a big blow up. Veronica Vega and Trick Daddy on Drink Champs, and Veronica tells her story about how she never meant to personally offend anyone. She was just saying what she said because of where she came from. And, Noriega, because I believe he's Afro-Latino. I think so. And so he was saying, a lot of people don't understand that, yeah, you can be different shades and you can be black and Latino and all of that. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Because they were going at Amada for that. But this situation is different because Veronica Vega is clearly a white Latina. Yes, her ancestry has African. No one's disputing that. We're sure of that. The problem is her current being is a white Latina. And so the other person in the podcast was saying that we have to be careful that we don't just smooth this over and pretend like, oh, well, it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal and people could take this and run with it, and the wrong type of people with the wrong intentions could, try and say that, oh, well, because of where I'm from, I can say or do whatever I want. And that's not the case. So now we have Pretty Ricky sit down with their father, even though we're not calling him their father right now. He was ex-manager. And Slickums, or Slick, whatever. Slick, Pleasure P, and Spectacular, that's his name. Spectacular, they're all upset with the father. They felt like the money wasn't handled properly. I don't know if the father was just reinvesting the money instead of doing what he needs to do to make sure that they had money left over. Clearly, he wasn't good with the money. That's what I'm getting. He wasn't good with the money, and they just want an apology. And then it sounds like he's upset actually at Spectacular, putting the blame on his son for, okay, whatever. The money happened, whatever. I had to take my own money. Yeah, I believe the money just wasn't handled right. That happens all the time in the music industry. But the fact that the father was trying to put it on his other son because his other son was able to make money off of the Facebook page that no one was working with, he said that he gave them their cut. I don't know what the percentage looked like. I don't know. But Spectacular said that he gave his brothers their cut from it. Pleasure P just looked happy that he didn't have to be the one arguing, because Blue started to argue with Spectacular, and Pleasure just had the look of, I'm glad it's not me. For once, I'm glad it's not me. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Remember, check out my other channel. Appreciate it. Thank you.